Let's understand about the arithmetic operators supported by the JavaScript. So there are list of arithmetic supported like commonly with any other scripting or the programming language in JavaScript as well. There is nothing like super new operations are supported with respect to arithmetic, but we'll just give a overview and we'll just try to understand a bitly new interest introduce the power of the exponential one in the ES2016, that is ES6 next generation JavaScript in this. And we'll also try to understand when we do the use the increment or the decrement operator. So what will happen? It will change the value of the variable itself, or maybe it will return some value, because sometimes while writing some algorithms you might be misusing these operators. So let's quickly try with an example here of sample two numbers. So let number 1 equals to 2, number 2 of 3, and we need a result of number 1 plus number 2 here. And let's console the result. Firstly, let's verify everything is working. Yes, everything is working. Now slowly try to introduce some other things over here. Let's say this is 2 and we are using 3, so I want 3.1. So the final outcome will be in the number or the float value. That's the question. So let's see. Yes, it's a float. So whenever we are maybe doing an addition, subtraction, or anything in your expression, if there is at least one floating value with some precision here, so the final output of the expression will be also in the floating format only. So there are others like normal, like minus and the multiply and the divide, but we'll see specifically with the divide the some more use cases. So let's say number 1 is divided by number 2, and let me just change some values here. Let me make it 2 and 4. So this is as expected, it will be the result 2 here without any decimal point. But if I make it 3, now let's see the difference in the output. So we are getting a decimal point, a very big number here, and the 0.333 after the 1. So how exactly it is decided, how we can reduce it? So we can use a math library here to reduce the precision here for the decimal point. But for now, we are just understanding when you do the divide operation, so you can expect the float values as a result out of it. There is one more that we have seen, the power of operator. So with the power of operator, if I just do the exponential operator, that is also called the power of, and it is being introduced in the ES6 version of the JavaScript of next generation. So the output here will be, this is 4 to the power 3. Let me simplify it, make it 2 here, or 2 and 2. So it's 2 to the power 2. So we should get an output 4 here. Okay, so 2 to the power 3, we should get an output 8, and 2 to the power 4, it should be, I guess, 16. Yes. So this is the power of operator. Generally in the math library, if you use, so there is something math power, and you can also make it 2 comma 4. So it will also give you the exact same result, but of the ES6 version given you as an inbuilt capability without using the object of method here. Then there is something called as remainder, which we generally rarely use, but it is also sometimes useful to do some calculation. So this is a modulus, it is also called as modulus operator or the remainder. So when we are doing a division for 2 divided by, let me make it more clear, 5 divided by 4. So if you make it 5 divided by 4, so the remainder will be 1, and that's what we get inside this results here. That's perfect. And let's see the last two, one increment and the decrement that we usually use in the for looping statement and any algorithm. So let me make it here the number 1 plus plus plus, and then we are assigning it to the results. So here I'm printing the results, and let me also console the value of number 1. So what you are expecting, what will happen in this case, what will be the value of result, and what will be the value of number 1. I'll just take a pause on the video so that you can think on it. Yes. So very first thing, this right hand side expression is getting executed. So number 5 will become number 6. And when we are using the increment operator, only this value will not become 5, 6. It will also change the value of number 1. It means while using an increment operator, it will update itself with the number 6. Okay, when we are doing that, so the results will also go to the 6 because the output of this expression will go 6 and we are getting in results also 6. So we should get 6 and the 6. Let's verify the results. 5 and 6. We are missing with something here. What is that? It's interesting to see here. So we are using this increment operator at the end of the number 1. What it mean? It means that firstly the value which is present in number 1. What is that? 5. That should be assigned to the result. After that, then the increment will happen for the number 1. And that's the reason we are getting 5 here and we are getting 6 here. Now let's try to do in a bit different way. So now we are doing the increment as a prefix ahead. So what will happen now? It is first increment the value of number 1 and then it will assign to the results. So in this case, we should get both the values 6 and the 6. Yes, perfect. The same way will happen for the decrement operator as well. Let's try to play around this with few examples here. Let me make it plus plus number 2. What could be the output in this case? You can just pause the video and think on it. Yes. So let's see the results here. We are getting the result 11. And let's see how. Very first thing, the number 1 is 5. So it is incrementing ahead. So it should get increment itself first. And the output of this particular small expression plus plus number 1 will become 6. Then it will go to the plus plus number 2. Here also the firstly increment should happen before any other execution. So if previously it is 4, it will become 5. And 6 plus 5 will become 11. And that's the reason we are getting the value 11. Let's make it in this case. So again, try the execution here. So this is ahead. So this will be 6. And then this is after the number 1. It is not ahead. So this is something like a post 1. So what will happen? Firstly, this number 2 will participate. This will participate inside this addition operation and it will also assign the final value to the results and then the number 2 will get executed. So when number 2 is participating in this addition operation, so the value is 4, it means you should get 10. Then the 10 will be assigned to the results. And after the assignment operation at the end, the number 2 will increment itself to 5. So let me just console number 2 as well here. So we should get result 10 and here 5. Very correct. And if you want to complicate it in a bit more manner, you can just use number 1 with minus minus and plus plus and just try to understand the different combinations, but hope you understood how it works. There is one more important scenario that is called operator precedence and how it works and why it's needed basically. So I'm not going to use the variables now. I'll just directly use it 2 plus 3. So we know the normal output will be 5. That's perfect. And here, let's make it into 5 here. What will happen in this case? What could be the results? As per the normal mathematics we studied, firstly, the 3 into 5 will get executed because out of these two operations, the multiplication operation is having the higher importance in the and the precedence inside this expression. So firstly, this 3 into 5 will become 15 and then 15 plus 2 will become 17. Let's see the outcome. Yes. But what if I want to perform the addition of 2 plus 3 first and then I want to apply the addition? Of course, in this case, in both way, it will be the similar. Let's change the values so that you can see the difference. So in this case, it's a bit different now. Let me just apply the brackets here. So now what will happen? 3 plus 1, 4, and the 4 will be multiplied with 5. 20. And if I just remove this one, what will happen? The firstly, the into operation will occur and it will give you 16 because 3 into 5 will become 15 and then plus 1 will goes to the 16. So in this way, we have learned if you apply the brackets here for the larger expression, you can change the operator precedence for the arithmetic operators we are using inside our expression.